remember a time that I was sitting alone and playing my Amiga at home, gaming Maniac Mansion and Lotus Turbo and UFO Enemy Unknown, sitting on my ass doing nothing at all, but managing it bored of gold. No chance in hell I would ever get bored of killing NBA in Dark Souls. Yeah, I'm a gamer forever, I'm gaming whatever, together with my life till I die. Yeah, I'm gaming forever, I'm gaming whatever, together with my ladies till I die. Yeah, I'm a gamer forever, I'm gaming whatever.
Hey guys, this is Kyle, and welcome to my first video. I personally feel like 1987 was a big year for Konami, because they released great games like CastleVania, Contra, and Life Force. I've played games by Konami before, but these three games definitely stood out to me. 1987 was also the beginning of one of my favorite game franchises of all time. And yes, that is Metal Gear. So, I'm not here to talk about Metal Gear. I'm here to talk about a different game. Today, I'll be playing an old school NES game called CastleVania. I want to talk about the cover art, because right off the bat it looks really strange to me. No pun intended. There's a man with a whip about to fight a castle on top of green tidal wave. And Dracula's in the background dripping blood, laughing at you for being a dumbass. I don't think it's bad cover art. I kinda like it. Now, let's critique the back of the box. The back of the box reads, "Enter at your own risk. If you think it's scary on the outside, wait till you see the basement. You're in for the longest night of your life. Ghosts, goblins, demons, wolves, bats, creatures lurking around every corner." Before I continue, I actually want to go look at the manual, because I see a conflict here. Well, that's odd. The back of the box says wolves, but the manual says black leopard. I haven't even started the game yet, and I'm already starting to find issues. But I will admit, I do enjoy the artwork. Okay, let's go back and continue reading. As you descend deeper and deeper, they get thicker and thicker. Dear Penthouse. Better stick close to the cavern floor. It's your only chance of finding a weapon or two. You're gonna need 'em, because when you finally meet the Count, you know he's going for the jugular. So keep your courage up and your steak sharp, and say your prayers. I don't even think steak is an actual weapon in the game. Okay, let's actually start doing some gameplay. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the main menu. It tells you to push start, but I'm going to be honest, I thought my sound was broken because there's no sound, there's no music, there's nothing. So, I decide to push start, and the game immediately makes up for having no sound and music. The first thing that you learn in this game is that the main character, Simon Belmont, does not enjoy light fixtures. The second thing you notice is that Simon has a taste for hearts. Now, they are useful. Unlike other games, hearts usually give you health, but in this game, they give you uses of your secondary weapon. Regular size hearts will give you 1 point, but big hearts will give you 5. As I was fighting the first boss, I started to realize that the whip wasn't really that great for fighting him. Secondary weapons is probably the best way to beat him. I tried my best to beat him with the weapons I had, but the first time, he got the best of me. But I would definitely be back. Unfortunately, right here is where I learned that when you die, you actually lose all your hearts and you have to start collecting them over again. So I'm going to fast forward to the boss, and we're going to try fighting him with a secondary weapon. Oh yeah, fighting him with this throwing axe is definitely a lot easier than just fighting him with the whip. So this battle should be over quick. After you defeat a boss, he'll drop an orb, and once you collect it, you'll move on to the next stage. Stage 2 is really where this game starts to take off and get really hard. It's not just the monsters that are going to be beating you up, it's the platforms as well.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Another thing that kind of irritates me about this game is the despawn rate. You have to pick something up as soon as it drops, or it's gone. I also find it kind of strange that enemies don't drop health, but you can break walls and find pork chops. And sometimes just hitting a candle can be frustrating. Everything has an awkward hitbox, so you gotta be careful. When you finally make it to Queen Medusa, you realize that, again, your whip is kinda useless, and you have to find a secondary weapon to fight her with. Okay, so Queen Medusa beat me, but this time I have fire bombs, so let's see how well this works against her. And now she's dead. Well, that was too easy. Ugh. To be honest, I don't really like this level much. I hate these stupid little hunchback bastards. They just bounce around humping everything. That's all they do, is hump. Alright, well, now here I am, fighting the mummy bosses, and it seems like a rinse and repeat. First I lose, and then I find some sort of glitch or exploit that allows me to beat them really easily. Well, anyway, let's just move on. Okay, so now I made it to the Frankenstein boss. One of those hunchback bastards are humping his head. I can't believe this. Okay guys, well, Frankenstein's monster getting skull fucked is where I draw the line. So, I'm going to give you my conclusion to this review. I think CastleVania has a lot of pros and cons, but overall I think it's a good game, especially for the time that it was made. So, if you like these kind of games, I recommend playing it. It's definitely a classic in the Konami library. If nothing else, I definitely say this game is worth playing once if you never have, and I hope you give it a try sometime. I definitely feel like CastleVania was a game that wasn't planned on being a big series, but it definitely hit with the fans. And little did they know, this was the beginning of a massive gaming franchise. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you like, comment, and subscribe, and I want to hear what you think of my first video.